But if I win this election, President Trump's nominee should be withdrawn. And as a new president, I should be the one who nominates Justice Ginsburg's successor. I made it absolutely clear that I would go forward with the confirmation process as chairman, even a few months before presidential election. Even a few months before presidential election. If the nominee were chosen with the advice and not merely the consent of the Senate, just as the Constitution requires.
When there is a vacancy on the Supreme Court, the President of the United States is to nominate someone. The Senate is to consider that nomination, and either they disapprove of that nominee or that nominee is elevated to the Supreme Court. Historically, this has not been viewed as a question. There's no unwritten law that says that it can only be done on off years. That's not in the constitutional text. That's not in the constitutional text. I'm amused when I hear people who claim to be strict interpreters of the Constitution suddenly reading into it a whole series of provisions that are not there. There is more than enough time for the Senate to consider in a thoughtful way the record of a nominee that I present and to make a decision. The Constitution says that I nominate candidates for the Supreme Court when there's a vacancy, and that the Senate exercises its constitutional role in advising the Senate. I'm going to do my job, but I'm going to do my job. I'm going to nominate somebody and let the American people decide as to whether that person is qualified. And if they are qualified, let the American people decide whether there's enough time for the U.S. Senate to hold hearings and have a vote. It's not as if, from what I see, the Senate calendar is so full that we don't have time to get this done. All right? I have fulfilled my constitutional duty. Now it's time for the Senate to do theirs. Presidents do not stop working in the final year of their term. Neither should a senator. My hope and expectation is that once there is an actual nominee, once this is no longer an abstraction, that those on the Judiciary Committee recognize that their job is to give this person a hearing, to show the courtesy of meeting with them. They are then free to vote whatever their conscience dictates as to whether this person is qualified or not. In the meantime, the American people are going to have the ability to gauge whether the person I've nominated is well within the mainstream, is a good jurist, is somebody who's worthy to sit on the Supreme Court.
The American people deserve a fully staffed Supreme Court of 9.
The president nominates, and then the Senate advises and consents or not, but they go forward with the process.
The American people expect Judge Garland, the president's nominee, to be given a fair hearing and a timely vote in the Senate. The Senate should do their job.
Every day that goes by without a ninth justice is another day the American people's business is not getting done.
When the Constitution is 100% clear, the President of the United States has the right to nominate someone to be a justice of the Supreme Court. Senate's function is to hold hearings and to vote.
Kids, he's the greatest of all time. Yeah? All right, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Comrade Cortez, firing up her base in the wake of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. The New York socialist telling her supporters they need to back Biden now more than ever.
Let this moment radicalize you. Let this moment really put everything into stark focus. We need to focus on voting for Joe Biden. I don't care if you like him or not.
This as Senate Democrats strategize how to handle the Supreme Court vacancy. Here to discuss is our political panel. Democrat State Representative Karen Whitsitt of Michigan, Democrat Senate State Representative Vernon Jones of Georgia, and founder of the hashtag Walkaway campaign, Brandon Straka. Thank you all for being here this morning. Karen, I will start with you. Comrade Cortez says, let this moment radicalize you. Is that what this should do for Democrats? Vernon, what are you thinking about today?
Well, this is a prime example of what happens when voters make uninformed decisions. In this case, AOC. Obviously, she has politicized this. But what bothers me is this. She wants me to forget about Joe Biden's 47-year record of doing nothing. She wants me to forget about Joe Biden, who said that if I don't vote for him, I ain't black. She wants me to forget about Joe Biden that incarcerated masses and masses of black men and women. When she said, even if you don't like him, go and vote for him. And the very thing that Ruth Ginsburg stood for, the Constitution, she wants us to forget about the Constitution as she invoked and put her agenda of socialism and Marxism. I just can't. It's just beyond me that she would make those comments.
Brandon, you're leading a movement of people walking away from the Democrat Party. What do you make of this reaction from Democrats, and how will that change voters' perception?
Well, in a way, I'm taking a stand to show.
Oh, sorry, Vernon. I'm going to go to Brandon on this one real quick.
To be honest with you, I find it a bit comical that she says it's time to become radicalized. I have a news flash. The left is already radicalized. The left is already violent. The left is already unhinged. The left is already lawless. I don't know how much more radicalized the left can become short of setting themselves on fire over this. So I think that these calls for radicalization based off of the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg is really only going to push more moderate Democrats further to the right. I think it's going to push more common sense people more over in our direction. As you were asking about my movement Walkaway, we literally doubled in size since June of this year when the radical left decided it was a good idea to start burning America to the ground, start looting stores, and start destroying America's cities and neighborhoods. So if they think that this is going to be a good look for them to respond to this woman's death by becoming more radicalized, and that somehow this is going to help Joe Biden. The thing that interests me too, if I may say very quickly, is the left has made it very clear they don't like Donald Trump. Basically, AOC is conceding that they don't like Joe Biden either. So I don't know how they make the decision that between two men they don't like, it's okay to vote for this man, who, by the way, is actually a racist, is actually a bigot, and Donald Trump is not.
Well, what unites them is their hatred of the current president, of course, which you already know. State Representative Whitsett and Jones and Brandon Straka, thank you all for being here this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.